As my mom would often say shortly after I was born to her friends, just because you spent 9 months making something doesn't necessarily mean that it's still worth hanging on to. That is not the case with this 3D printed Nintendo Gamecube computer I've been working on. Mostly because I've been working on it for 7 months, not 9. There's some issues from my childhood I'm still working on. I've tried to keep the design as close to the original Gamecube as I could. So in this front faceplate, we of course have the 4 circle ports for controllers. In this case, I'm just running some Xbox 360 controllers through here. And if I wanted to, if I had controllers to dedicate to this, then I would just super glue or crazy glue this part of the cable in, and then use this part of the Xbox 360 controller to just disconnect from the front of the Gamecube there. Also, I've made sure to keep an SD card reader here in the front where the memory card would go. So I can either store all of my save data on these memory cards, or if I wanted to, I could take all my GameCube and Wii ROMs and actually have a library of SD cards with 1 ROM per card. Something I'm toying with. Let me know in the comments if that would be something that's worth doing or not. Because clearly I'm the king of spending my time wisely. While I may not have kept the functionality true to the original by not having a DVD drive on top, I have at least kept the ventilation on the sides somewhat true to the original. On the other side of this is the CPU socket, and I'll get to specs in a minute, and on this side we have the actual intake for the ATX power supply that is in this machine. So that's still somewhat true to the original. Now, there's not really a downloadable GameCube operating system that you can just download off the internet, at least not through normal legal channels, but what you can do legally is download Windows 7 along with a copy of WindowBlinds 7 and Logon Studio 7, which will allow you to change the boot up screen to be at least a still image, if not a video, of the GameCube startup logo, so you can get a little bit more nostalgia that way. And I've also tweaked the UI a little bit with WindowBlinds 7 to be at least more fun, if not necessarily true to the original GameCube. If you've been following the progress on this project for a while, then you will have probably seen my last video, which is a couple weeks old at this point, where I was discussing how I really wanted to go with some kind of an integrated graphics solution, because this is a pretty small case, even though it is 2 or 3 times the size of the original GameCube. But thanks to Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist, I ended up getting something much better for not that much more of a price. This whole system, minus the controllers, is less than $300 US. I have a Core i5 4590U that I got with the motherboard and RAM for 140 bucks. Pretty good deal, especially since the cooler's included as well, and it's low profile. And then over on Craigslist, I managed to snag an RX 460 for 80 bucks, which wasn't perhaps the best deal, but it's still pretty good. The guy who was selling a 750 Ti for $40 ended up having to catch a plane leaving the state, so I missed out on that deal, but an RX 460, as you're going to see once I get to benchmark results, is definitely worth it. Now, while those computer specs are certainly nothing to get really excited about, they do just well enough. The projector I'm using at home is only 1280 by 800 pixels, so how much performance do you really need if that's your target resolution for 60 frames a second? Now, the one fear I do have about this that I'm not entirely comfortable with is the fact that I've printed it out of PLA. For those of you who don't know much about 3D printing, PLA will melt if you leave it in a hot car, and I've gone and filled it with an entire computer system without the greatest ventilation. But fortunately, my thermal concerns aren't necessarily warranted, because as I show you this montage of performance and gameplay, I'm also going to include the temperatures for both the CPU and GPU as well. So, enjoy! So there you have it. A 3D printed GameCube could also be yours for $300, assuming you know how to design and 3D print your own GameCube style case. Now, I'm not necessarily going to upload the files for this for a couple reasons. First of all, just this red part is a 200mm cube. Most 3D printers can't print something that big. And on top of that, to really get a full experience with a dedicated graphics card in here too, I had to add on this little black part that you might not necessarily be able to tell apart from the table, except this little line here sticking up. But when you have a mini ITX motherboard plus a graphics card that takes up 2 slots, that takes up 20 centimeters, which fits within my printer's borders, except that I still have to get a case across the top and bottom of it, so I need a printer or 2 pieces to get to that point. Plus also, I feel that having designed the case myself, I appreciate it a lot more. And so hopefully if you're looking to do a project like this, you'll have the time and dedication it takes to design your own case. But overall, I am incredibly happy to have this computer just chilling in the bookcase right next to me with the projector on top. And if you want to be subscribed, then I've got another case that I've 3D printed that will be coming up in the next couple weeks. And if you want to see some more videos on this channel, then I'd be much obliged if you wouldn't mind checking out these other videos. Leave a comment if you thought that this GameCube was the coolest thing you've ever seen, and let me know if there's maybe some other consoles I should take a look at 3D printing as well.